A wild ride on Wall Street. The Dow closing nearly 600 points lower after starting the day with a literal nosedive. For the first time ever, the Dow dropping more than 1,000 points in just the first 4 minutes, then rebounding some, closing the day down nearly 600 points. And that comes after last week, Wall Street's worst week in 4 years. The stock market reacting to what happened today globally, much of the concern tied to the economic problems in China, the world's second largest economy. So we want to know, what does this mean for your portfolio? The Now's Tara Hall is here with what all this means for investors here in Kansas City. Certainly a scary day, but not a catastrophe.
Not a catastrophe. Now, the Chinese did call it Black Monday. That, of course, in reference to 1987, when we had our very own Black Monday. Now, here's why. October 19th is the date, 1987. Stock market dropped nearly 23%. Now, today, as Justin just said, only about 7%, so not anything like 1987. If we would have seen something similar to that, the Dow would have actually had to have dropped 3,700 points down today. Just, what did you say, 600 points or so, Justin?
About that.
Yeah, so nothing like what we would have seen back about 28 years or so, but still a scary day for investors.
Don't panic. That's the advice of Chris Butler of the Overland Park investment firm Butler Lands and Wagler. Here's why.
Because there is such an interconnected structure of markets and economies now, if China gets a flu, you're going to hear the United States sneeze or cough.
And that cough can cause a tickly throat for investors in Kansas City.
Kansas City economically is actually kind of lucky in this sense. We don't really fluctuate our economy as much as either coast. Not only that, but we're insulated in a way. Some of our city's biggest employers are city, state, and federal government. Those are fairly stable.
What may not be stable at the moment is your portfolio. Butler says now is the time to take a look at how your money for retirement or otherwise is divvied up.
What investors ought to do is take a look at how much they have in stocks and ask themselves, would my plans for the future be greatly hampered or stymied if I lost 50% of the value of my stocks?
If the answer is yes, he says, you may have too much money tied up in the market. Butler recommends reallocating those funds across a broad set of investments that reflect your stage of life and your tolerance for risk, so you can protect not only your investments, but also yourself.
All right, and here's a look at some of how Kansas City's companies fared on the stock market today. Sprint down about 10 cents. 88 cents for Cerner, and H&R Block down just over $1. Now, one of the other things that Chris told me is what you should be looking at home is how the Federal Reserve is going to react to today, potentially talking about increasing interest rates. So it'll be interesting over the next couple of days or weeks to see how they react to the down market.
We'll see what happens tomorrow. Thank you, Tara. Krista?